Well, it's looking like I'm not going to make it out to my shop this week, which is a pain in the ass on account of all of my stuff comes out this week with the exception of 2 books, counting one that's digital. Yeah, I'm not thrilled at all. But hey, what can I do? Today I'm going to review the next part of the Fire and Stone series. This is Prometheus, Fire and Stone. And I have the full series minus the one-shot, but the one-shot you don't really need to read. It's going to wrap up the whole event. Now, this was the first series they released. Well, they released issue 1 first. They released Prometheus, Fire and Stone, issue 1. A week before they released Aliens, Fire and Stone. And this really slipped under the radar for, I think, a lot of people. Because it's a Prometheus book, and no one likes Prometheus, except for weird people who like being confused. I know for a fact I hated Prometheus. I saw it twice, and I hated it both times. I think I hated it more a second time, because I can't believe I made myself watch it a second time. But yeah, we got Fire and Stone. It's better than the Prometheus movie, I can tell you that. So we got the setup of issue 1, where we got this angle of these scientists are coming, salvagers, mostly. There's like a medical staff scientist. They're all Weyland-Yutani. And mind you, this is I think it's like 100 years after Aliens, Fire and Stone. Or something like that. I don't know, it's hard to keep track of what's going on. But unlike in Aliens, this all takes place in, I think, less than a day. All of it, which is a lot better than Aliens with that whole survivor thing. Well, this one, it sets up that they're salvagers except for their captain, who's like, I gotta go find Weyland because he was looking for the fountain of youth or whatever was in Prometheus that would make his disease go away, and the human race deserves to know. Even though it's a woman, might as well give it the crusty man voice on account of it's that stereotype, only it's in a woman, which isn't bad. I'm not sexist, but that's just a stereotype of a character. And then the science guy, the science tech, he has some sort of cancer, I think. And he and the android are quote-unquote friends. And the android's the most interesting character. That and their main, you see, I don't remember names in these books because it doesn't matter, because the majority of them are cannon fodder. This is how I've been since I saw Alien 3. And it's how you should be with these. It's like in Predators. Like, they're just cannon fodder. They don't develop them all that much. They're just there to get killed. So, the salvage team and their kind of military team that's with them, they're not really military, they're more security. One guy acts like a combination of Hudson and I don't know, the guy Danny Glover's partner in Predator 2, the cocky one, the one that bites it on the subway train, that one. Predator 2 is alright, you can go see that. If you watch Saturday Morning Samoflange, one of the hosts will like try to say that Predator 2 is like the best thing ever on lists that aren't even about movies. He'll try to work it in, trust me. Plug for Saturday Morning Samoflange, check them out. But anyway, so those are the only 2 like interesting characters. They're mostly just bland. But so they go. I'll have to get into this. So they go and they find the ship from the Aliens, Fire and Stone. Which, mind you, this is the only time you don't have to read something before this. You're fine reading Prometheus first and then reading Aliens later when it comes to these Fire and Stone things. It doesn't matter until we get to AVP and Predator, when it does matter. And it's a fucking mess. But we'll get... So they find the ship. Well, they go through the jungle and they find the black goo, which the black goo doesn't have much to do in Prometheus. Fire and Stone, I mean, it has a little bit, but they don't have someone who's completely obsessed with it and talks about it constantly, like in Aliens. It's there. It's making everything grow. It's making everything change. Because the black goo is the deus ex machina of everything for some reason. So the black goo's there. We have the space jockey, or one of them, one of the creators of us, who's wandering around throughout the series, and he doesn't do much of anything. So issue 1 ends with, and I'm going to spoil this whole thing. So this is a spoilers review, because this isn't necessarily a good thing to read. It's entertaining. They find the aliens. Find aliens on the ship that crashed from the aliens, Fire and Stone. And what proceeds for the next 3 issues is a lot of mayhem with the aliens and people dying, and then someone got eaten by alien shark. Or several people did. Then there's a betrayal, and then we end up with our survivors stuck somewhere, but not all of them. I won't say who is what and who's who and who's stuck and who's not, because I haven't read far enough to know what happens, because I think this just leads into, I know some of the characters return in Predator, and I know Fire and Stone, and I know that one of the characters ends up in AVP as the villain, which is interesting. Overall, it's alright. It's entertaining, but you're not going to get much of anything out of this. It's entertaining on the level of, hey, it's like Aliens, but not. The art is beautiful, and that's, I think, the saving grace of this series, is that it has incredible art. Just very, very beautiful coloring. And it's nice to look at. But, a lot of nothing happens. I mean, granted, this takes place in a shorter span than Aliens. I think Aliens was better written, but this overall is more entertaining on a dumb level. It's hard to explain, but the covers are nice. I mean, you got one, you got 2 with the space jockey, we got 3 with the android, and we got 4 with, I think that's the captain. But yeah, the space jockey, he doesn't interact with the people. Well, he does a tiny bit, but he's mostly doing his own thing. And he's cool, but he's not used a lot. Honestly, the coolest person's the android, and he's not even a person. And we find out he has a bigger role in AVP, which has been which I was told is the worst of this arc, and it happens next, kind of. So overall, what do I give this? Give it a 3 out of 5. It's just mediocre. It would be a 2 out of 5, except for the art gives it the extra 1 there. Would I recommend it? If you're a fan of all these franchises, and if you thought, if there's anything good from that came out of Prometheus, it's this. I think that's what a lot of people are judging it on, because Prometheus is so fucking awful, that this is better. This is better than the Prometheus movie. Prometheus movie gets a 1 out of, it gets a 0 out of 5. Terrible. Nothing good in it. Nothing. Incompetent and shit. At least this was semi-competent. But yeah, it felt rushed. But hey, we'll get into what happens in the next time when I review AVP, which will be in a little while, because I need a break from that shit. So yeah, that's my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Not my best, but that's not the best thing I've read. Join me next time where I review a single issue. I'm going to be reviewing this. I know it's late for me, but I only just read it, and oh boy, I want to talk about this. Have a nice day, people.